Welcome to Playing with HTML CSS 3. If you are watching this video first, then head over to Playing with HTML CSS 1. Now, if you want to start from this point, you can head over to Playing with HTML CSS 2, click on the link to the code pen, and in the top right corner you can click Fork, and it'll make a copy of that pen, and you'll be exactly where we are right here and can play along. Okay, so here we've got our 90s looking website. I'm not extremely happy with it, but let's change this H1, that main header, to be black. So we know that's 0, 0, 0. All right, that's looking a little bit better. I want to make this website feel a little more hip and interactive. So we're going to add something called a hover selector. We're just going to do div::hover, our curly braces like usual. This will allow us to, anytime we hover over the div, it will change the styling here just a little bit. So we've got a background color that we could maybe just, background color, we can just change it here to be a little darker. So instead of FE, we will do CCC, and we'll stop there. So now, when I hover, ooh, that's really nice. Feels a little more interactive. I can change the cursor on hover, so we can say cursor, pointer. Now, honestly, that probably belongs not just in the hover, because although we only see the cursor over that when we hover, it feels like something that might belong here in our div without just hover. That way it's not changing just every time I'm hovering over it. Okay, div, hover, we've got a background color. Feels like we can click on it. That's really nice. Oh yeah, just mesmerized by that. Okay, let's change our color of the border. Now, we took off the border before, but this is just for the sake of trying things out. We're going to say border. We'll do the 1 pixel again. Solid black. Okay. Oh yeah. How beautiful is that? Okay. And honestly, this would look a little bit better if we had some sort of transition time on it where we could see it fade to the gray. And luckily enough for us, we do have that. And so let's do transition -duration, and we'll say 1s, which stands for 1 second. And then here, oh, yep, it takes exactly 1 second to transition in between here. But you'll notice it turns back immediately. So let's put that same property here in transition duration on our div, and we'll say 1 second again. Now it takes 1 second to change, 1 second to change back. Perfect. Don't love this border on it, but look at that change. That's really nice. Okay. Look at that, that's beautiful. So now let's talk about combining our selectors. What if I wanted to change the color of the P element inside of the div when we hover over the div? I can say div, our hover selector, :hover, but then I need to add something to it here. Well, space A. Now anytime I put a space and then the name of another tag, it's going to search and say, okay, is there a div that's being hovered on? Okay, if so, we'll look at the A inside of that div, and we'll style it here. So we can say color, and we'll change this to a white. Let's say FFF. Now when I hover, ooh, the anchor tag now is changing to white. It's changing immediately though. We see that it's not changing in that same duration. So let's say transition duration 1 second to match there, and it'll fade at the same time. If I wanted this to happen to the whole paragraph, I could change that here so the whole paragraph turns white. And If I want to make both things do it at the same time, we'll say div hover A with this comma in here saying we want this and this to both be affected by these styles. And now everything turns white. That is still very ugly, but guess what? It's a step forward. Let's add some bold here to our tags when they get hovered. So we'll say font weight. Font weight is what is going to change how bold or how thin our text is. So let's say font weight bold. And oh yeah, we get real bold. You'll notice that that one doesn't seem to smoothly change in between. There are some things that just won't be as smooth. This is what we have to play with. When we're building a website, we want the UI, the user interface, everything that our users are going to be interacting with to feel very smooth. So it feels like that's probably not the smoothest thing to put in here. Okay. And maybe I can darken up the back of the div. So our background color will go A, B, A, B, A, B. It's a bit darker, more readable here. Very nice. That seems pretty good actually for now. So the next video you're going to want to watch is the Playing with JavaScript 1. Okay? Also playing with JS. That means JavaScript. So feel free to head over to Playing with JavaScript 1 and you'll be able to see what we're going to do when we click this div next. It just isn't doing enough for me. Comment of what you think we might be able to do there and subscribe for more videos. We'll see you next time.